Hi guys, Adam here. Welcome to another hacking episode, and today we'll be doing a man-in-the-middle attack by fake access point that you'll create on your own laptop. So I have a so underpowered laptop with Intel N4200 processor that costs less than I believe $300. And it has a Linux Mint 20.1 installed, and we start with it. Okay, so first of all, you need to buy some decent Wi-Fi card. It may be some kind of TP-Link. So this one is a TP-Link TLWN722N. It may be kind of other, but basically what you need to do, you need to consult first if this card that you are going to buy, if this card operates in proper way in Kali Linux. So I'm not using Kali Linux, as you see. It is Linux Mint, but we'll be doing this fake access point by the drivers of the Kali Linux. So sometimes you need to go to this page rcrackng and check what are the cards supported. So for example, in my case, for this TP-Link, the one, I had to compile this driver, this RTL8188 EUS, to work. So after I done it, it works perfect way. Okay, let's start. So first of all, if using laptop or netbook or something, it already has some kind of Wi-Fi interface built in. So we'll be using this Wi-Fi interface. In my case, it is named WLP2S0. It will be used to connect to the internet, and we'll connect the USB card, the one here, to create another access point. So your PC will be a kind of pass-through. So user will connect to this access point here and will go to the internet through your internal Wi-Fi card in the laptop. Okay, so sometimes when you buy this card, it's not properly recognized by the system, for example, like this. So if I connect this one, it will appear with a strange name like this one. So then this name is not okay. Okay, so you need to reconfigure the name. To do that, you use you can do it both ways. So first you can use commands like this. So let's change the name, just an example. Oops, not that. Let's change the name. That's not the terminal I wanted to show. So let me do it once again. So this is the name, the command. First you need to bring the interface down like this. You have to do it as a root, of course, because it's Linux. Then you change the name, for example, WLAN2, and you bring the interface up once again. Oops, well, let me check what was the command. Let me check first if the command was already applied. Okay, so we have WLAN2, so that's the name of the interface. Let's bring it up. Okay, the next thing is when you plug in the card, you need to configure it in the monitor mode. So to do that, following commands are needed. So remember that this is the name of the interface that you have on your USB Wi-Fi card. Okay, so I will now switch to this card, to TP-Link, because I have tried with this, just to show you that you need to change the name before you progress. And this card I have already configured in the system by udev rules to change automatically the name to WLAN1. And now we go with the commands to set it into monitor mode. Okay, it is now in the monitor mode. I can now issue the aerodump command to see what are the base station IDs nearby, but first what you need to do, you need to install the software. So for sure we'll need 3 types of software here. So there will be a host, access point daemon, DNS masquerade, and aircrack ng package. So for Apache, I don't know if it's needed, but you may need it if you want to expose some fake HTTP page to others, if you want to capture their credentials, for example, or something like this. Okay, let's now install these packages. You have to do it as a root, of course, so sudo is needed. So it will now check if the packages are already installed. So as you can see, they are installed, and I don't want to update those packages, so we go like this. Okay, now the next step is we can check if the card is working in this monitor mode. So to do that, we'll be using aerodump ng from the aircrack ng package. So let's put this now. And yes, it is working. So in my case, it is not showing the channel number, sorry, but you need to ensure that it will show some channels here, because right now it is not doing it in proper way. That's assuming that you have it done in proper way, you can then proceed. So it is just only to see what are the potential access points that you can impersonate, okay? Then the next step is to configure the IP address on the interface that you have. And before we do that, let's see what is the interface that I have on my own laptop. Okay, so this interface that is built into my PC, it is the one that I'm using to connect to the internet. And it has network 192.168.1. So on the second interface, on the one that you'll be using to create a fake access point, you will have to use a different network, okay? So it may be like this. So 192.168.0. It has to differ. And now we have to bring this interface down again to reconfigure it. Then we add IP and we add a default route for this, okay? And we bring the interface up. Okay, let's check if it worked. As you can see, it worked. We have 2 interfaces. WLP2S0 is the one built in my PC that I'm connecting to the internet through. And the second one is WLAN1. And then this WLAN1 will be used to create this fake access point. Okay, so now we have to create configuration for the DNS masquerade. The DNS masquerade is the software that will do kind of DHCP for the stations, for the terminals, for the phones or PCs that will connect to your fake access point. So keep in mind that in this configuration of the DNS masquerade, these IPs must be from the network that you have assigned to your USB Wi-Fi card. It has to be from the network, but it has to be different. So in my case, I have IP 192.168.0.1, and in this configuration, in the DNS masquerade configuration, you have to use IPs that are above the one that you have configured on your interface. Okay, let's go to configure this. So let's go to the directory, for example, my home directory on the PC, and I have created directory fap, so fake access point. I know the name is funny, but I have some files already here. I will delete some unnecessary. Okay, so I have already done it, so I will just show you that it is the same. So this is the interface name that you have on your Wi-Fi, USB Wi-Fi card. This is the range of IPs that should be different from the one that is assigned here, but from the same subnet. This is IP of the DHCP server that you will host on your Wi-Fi card, and the DNS server from Google just to enable internet access. And the next step is, of course, configuration of this fake access point. To do that, we'll create another text file. Let's name it like this. And let's go to my tutorial and what you put here. Of course, you put the interface name that you have on your USB Wi-Fi card. This driver name you don't change. This SSID, you put here the name of the access point that you want to impersonate. For example, let's name it like a free internet. And of course, the channel number is the one that you have sniffed from the ARO dump ng. So this need to be the same channel as the one that you have for this SSID that is currently broadcasting and you want to impersonate. Okay. I will now copy this one simply and then we change. Let's name it, for example, free internet. Like this. We delete unnecessary characters there. We change the channel, for example, in my case there will be 11. Delete other things. And we don't change other options here. Simply write down the config. And now what we can do is, yeah, that's not all. Because in most cases you have a kind of DNS client running on your machine, so you need to first check if this one is running or not. So to do that, a simple command is needed, for example, like this. Okay, as you can see, we have a system daemon that is running using the port UDP 53. You need to kill this. So it is systemd resolve. We need to kill this one to proceed. Okay, let's kill it. Let's switch this one off. Simply not kill it, maybe switch this one. The command is like this. And now it shouldn't be working, but you need to hurry because system can run it once again. Other thing is that you need to create rules in the Linux firewall to simply to create a NAT entries. So your machine will be doing a network address translation for the internet access for these terminals that will connect to your access point. I think we can also check if this is applied. IP tables. I don't know the command. I don't know the command exactly, but doesn't matter at this point. Okay, and one other thing is we need to enable IP forwarding. So the PC will get the traffic from one wireless interface and pass it to the another wireless interface. In our case, we'll get the traffic from the USB Wi-Fi and pass it through the internal Wi-Fi to the internet. Okay, if you're getting such output like no access to the to the internal configuration, then the command should be like this to enable packet forwarding. Oops, sorry, my bad. Okay, so it now claims that it has this one on, but we will check that for sure, just to ensure that everything is okay. Yes, it's now enabled. Let's see once again if the DNS client is off, so we can now proceed and enable the host APD daemon. We'll use following command, but you need to ensure that this name of the configuration file is the one that you have created. Okay, so let's do it. Host APD 2 in my case. And now it created the access point, the fake access point. So I will show you in a minute on my phone how it is working, but it is not all. You need also to enable the DNS masquerade. So it can be done in this way. I will do that on the second window, on the second terminal. Okay, so I have my second terminal. Good approach would be to, yeah, it is not working. I will launch another one. Sorry, because I'm recording this material, the PC works really bad. It is slow as hell. I'm using OBS on the same machine. Okay. Now we do DNS masquerade command. Yeah, you need to run it as a root probably. Yeah, as I told you, if you won't hurry, it will launch once again the DNS client. So we need to kill it once again. Okay. Otherwise, it will prevent you from bringing up the DNS masquerade. Okay, as you see, it was running and we just brought that one down. And now we are having this DNS masquerade up and running. Okay, now we're gonna test if this fake access point is visible and if it's working, okay? So I will do that in a minute. I need to go to bring my handset, okay? Okay, before you start to impersonate any kind of access point, first of all, you need to know the SSID name of this access point, as well as the channel number on which it operates. So let's assume that I'm going to hack my own access point, so the one I have in my house. So let it be this file. And this one is having name like this and the channel number like this. To find out what is the channel number, you need to launch this IRO dump ng, but I will not be doing this at the moment. So let me close the previous terminal window. And right now we are going to launch the HTTP host AP daemon once again. Okay, we have it now launched. We also have this. Yeah, let me launch it once again. This DNS masquerade daemon. So these two are now working, and I have now internet connection here from this from my Wi-Fi. And right now I will be using a handset to connect to the Wi-Fi, to this malicious Wi-Fi access point. So I will now switch the Wi-Fi and I will select malicious access point. So you can see two of the access points. First one on the upper side is the one that I'm having in my house, and I will now connect to the access point with the same name, with the very same name, but at higher power, the second name. Okay, and as you can see right now on the screen, I have it this terminal connected. We can see what it is doing. It tries to reach a Google, and it seems like it is working. So it is connecting to the internet. I will now launch some pages, for example, like this. So I can browse the pages, and on the screen you can see what is happening exactly. So let's go to the booking.com, for example. I don't know if the page is working, but we'll see. Maybe to Amazon. Oh, yeah, that may be good. But anyway, on the screen you can see that it is passing the traffic from the WLAN 1 interface to the WLP to S0. So on the next terminal we can even record the communication. I don't know if my PC is going to handle this, but let's see. Yeah, as a sudo. It may be too much for him, but you can see that we are having this Galaxy phone sending something. Let's see some page. As I said, this laptop is very underpowered, so it barely handles the IP traffic that is originated from the phone. But you may want to need some more powered laptop. Okay, so this is how you do it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and remember that what I showed you is kind of illegal. You shouldn't do it. And if you liked this video, please leave a like and subscribe. Push the subscribe button. Thank you very much, and hope to see you again. Bye bye.